Okay, this is another episode of your local random hero. You know, echo effect going on. I was supposed to swoop in and all that good stuff, but you know, I didn't swoop in. You know, all that good music didn't play, and all of that, and all that good stuff didn't sit back and happen. But I've actually got a good and interesting video here. This actually to speak about. This one is about forgiveness. This is something that a lot of people is not capable of, you know. For example, you know, somebody can sit back here and get mad at somebody and not forgive them, you know. Sit back here and swear up and down that they was done wrong by somebody, right? But if you feel like felt like you wronged by somebody, sit back here and ask them to forgive you. If you wrong somebody, you know, because forgiveness can go a long way. A lot of people will never ever be able to sit back here and forgive somebody, you know, for the simple fact they don't want to forgive them, right? Let's think about this for a second, okay? Hypothetically speaking, right? Say for instance, I sit back here and I wronged somebody, right? And they knew that I wronged them. I'm supposed to go up to them and ask them for forgiveness, right? Henceforth, to get that off my chest, right? A lot of people a quote that reminds me in the Bible is the Lord's Prayer. He sat back here and say, basically, God forgive me. Let me forgive those who trespass against me, just like when I trespass against God. You know, ask God for forgiveness. Because what good is sitting back here and not forgiving people? You know, you sit back here and be mad, run your blood pressure up, sitting back here thinking to yourself, well, you know, I'm not gonna forgive this person because he done this to me. This person went on with their life, and you know, and they not really thinking about it too much, you know. Just like I was sitting back here watching, yes, believe it or not, I've actually found an interesting TV show on TV. Get Me Out of Here, I'm a Celebrity, right? You had, I think, John LaSalle, or what was his name, John Sally, sat back here and offended Janice Dickinson. And me personally, I think, you know, she's a little bit off the wall. I don't find her funny. I find her kind of bad, not in a good way, you know. But my thing is, he went to her and sat back here and asked for forgiveness after he sat back here and offended her. That is the way a person sit back. That's a perfect prime example how a person should sit back here and ask for forgiveness, right? But now, if somebody, this is the thing about forgiveness, right? For example, I had this one associate of mine, right, who basically, he wanted me to sit back here and lie for him, right? Because he was doing this one chick wrong, right? And I basically told him I'm not gonna lie for him. She asked me what was going on, and I told her the truth. You know, some people call that snitching, but that is not considered as snitching. You know, that's what's wrong. I think personally, snitching, that's what's wrong with the society today, because you don't have people sitting back here telling what went on. You know, for example, I was having a conversation this morning with a friend of mine, right? And I asked him out the gate, you know, when is it right to snitch or tell the truth? He's basically sat back here and say never. If society's getting to the point where you can't sit back here and tell the truth about what went on, that is like turning away from God. Because as you read in there, you shall not bear false witness. That's one of the 10 commandments. But going back, right? If somebody wants you to do something sinful for them, don't do it. Seriously, simple, you know. For the simple fact, you are children of God. Children of God sits back here and turn away from things that are not of God. You know, that's why I would not sit back here and lie for my associate. You know, people can sit back here and say, well, Damien, you're wrong, you should have, you're wrong. Whatever. I'm not going to sit back here, I'm not going to sit back here and lie for somebody so that they can get away with something. Because if you tell one lie, you got to tell 2 lies. If you tell 2 lies, you got to tell 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7. Some people say, well, if you tell 1 lie and that's it, no. You got to keep up, you got to keep that lie up. And it's not worth it, really. But now, what that associate of mine needs to do is sit back here and come to me like a man and ask me for forgiveness. You know, but more than likely this dude ain't. But anyway, you know, that's okay. But I already forgave him. You know, it's just Forgiveness is, people say forgiveness, it's easier said than done, but personally, I think it's easier done than said. But the thing what gets people is people sit back here and start thinking about it, and keeping an idle mind, right? And when a person sit back here and keep an idle mind, their mind start to wander and to start to drift. When their mind start to wander and start to drift, that's when they sit back here and start to get all agitated and mad because of the situation. When it's not that, when they shouldn't do that. You know, you see what I'm saying? People need to forgive and forget. You know, if you know somebody, somebody sit back here shady and gonna do you wrong on some kind of level, leave them alone. Simple as this. You know, God gave us free will. Free will helps a person walk away and stay away from these people. You know what I mean? But one day people gonna understand what it actually means to walk away and stay away from somebody, you know. But you know, you got a lot of people don't. But I made this because, one, I want to sit back here and say I'm sorry to a certain someone. You know, I'm asking for forgiveness. You know, like I said, some things that I said was wrong. Not harsh, but wrong. You know, this is a public apology. But anyway, this is your local random hero here speaking, and I would talk to y'all folks later. God bless.